The divorce papers sit between us, unsigned. Garrett's eyes are raw. Not from tears, he's past that now. From understanding, finally, what he's lost. The forbearance period ends tomorrow, I say. The words taste clean. Professional. If you don't file the UCC-3 termination, the secured creditors move to foreclosure. His hands shake as he reaches for the pen. 3 months ago, those hands built financial models. Closed deals. Now they can barely grip cheap ballpoint. Cassie. My name sounds like gravel in his throat. Can we, after the bankruptcy clears? I remarried, I say. Simple. Final. His head snaps up. 2 weeks ago. Courthouse ceremony. Very quiet. The color drains from his face in stages. Understanding moves slowly when you're drowning. I need you to know, he says, voice breaking. I understand now. Sign the papers, Garrett. He signs. I witness. The notary stamps. 3 years of marriage ended with a $20 filing fee and a borrowed pen. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me show you how we got here. Part 1, the unraveling. The champagne tastes expensive. Garrett only buys expensive things when he's hiding something cheaper underneath. I photograph the bottle. The new condo keys. His face, that particular smile he thinks is charming. Post it all to Instagram before the bubbles settle. Within minutes, hearts, flames, envious comments from people performing their own perfect lives. I'm typing a response to Melissa's goals. When Jade calls, she never calls during work hours. County records, she says without preamble. Property transfer division. Your villa. My champagne glass stays perfectly level in my hand. Go on. Garrett was here. 90 minutes ago. Her voice drops. Quit claim deed. Transferring your villa to Lorelei Winters. Consideration $1. The glass doesn't shake. My hand doesn't tremble. But something behind my sternum goes very still. Are you certain? I watched him sign. Cassie, I'm sorry. Don't be. I set down the glass. Watch bubbles rise and pop. Thank you for telling me. I hang up. Stare at my phone. At the Instagram post with its cascade of hollow congratulations. My thumb hovers over delete. That villa wasn't just property. It was 3 years of my life converted to square footage. The kitchen where I'd burned our first anniversary dinner. The garden where jasmine finally bloomed last June after 2 winters of failure. The bedroom where we'd planned which wall would hold the crib. Lorelei Winters. I say her name aloud to the empty condo. Testing it. Tasting it. His childhood friend. His first love. The ghost who'd haunted every conversation about his past, every time he went quiet and distant at parties, every unexplained melancholy, is less than #0. 6# is greater than I delete the post. Then I open my banking app and start moving money. His Mercedes sits in the driveway like evidence. I park 3 houses down. Engine off. Hands on the wheel. My father's voice, information before emotion, Cassie. Always. He'd built his empire on that principle. I'd built my marriage on the opposite. Stupid. I dial Garrett's number. Count rings. 1, 2, 3. Hey, babe. Too bright. Background noise, footsteps, a door, someone's voice I can't quite parse. I'm at the villa, I say. Casual. Light. Forgot my grandmother's necklace. The emerald one. Can you buzz me in? Pause. Half a second too long. I'm actually in the middle of something. How about I grab it later? I'm already here. Longer pause. I hear him breathing. Give me 10 minutes. Take your time. I hang up. Check my watch 2:47 p.m. At 3:19, the gate opens. Garrett stands in the doorway, hair mussed wrong, not from sleep, from fingers. He's adjusting his collar, but his hands give him away. Shaking. I walk up slowly. Each step deliberate. Close enough to smell his cologne mixing with something floral I've never bought. I reach out. Grab his tie. Pull him down. You have foundation on your collar. Not a question. His face does something fascinating. Like watching ice crack in real time. Must have brushed against peach. 2 shades lighter than mine. I run my finger along the stain. Who's inside? The lie assembles itself behind his eyes. I watch it happen. Lorelei's here. Her ex-husband, he was violent. Abusive. She had nowhere safe, so you gave her our house. He blinks. How did county records is public, Garrett? $1. That's what 3 years of our life is worth, apparently. His face goes white. Let me inside, I say. That's not, let me in or I leave. And when I leave, I call my lawyer. His hand is on my arm. Too tight. Cassie, you're upset. Something snaps. Not anger. Colder. I want a divorce. The words land between us like dropped silverware. You're overreacting. I'm already turning. Walking away. Keys in hand. Behind me, Cassie. I don't turn. Don't slow. His footsteps on pavement. Running. Getting closer, then brakes. Screaming. The wet thud of impact. I turn. Garrett's on the ground. The Honda driver's screaming, hands over her mouth. Neighbors materializing from houses like scandal draws them. And in my doorway, in her doorway, now stands Lorelei Winters. Silk robe I left behind. Hand pressed to mouth in theatrical horror. Beautiful. Delicate. Everything I'm not. I should feel something. Guilt. Panic. Instead, clarity. Cold and sharp as January ice. The ambulance smells like iodine and fear. Garrett's conscious but dazed. Muttering. The paramedic has me pressing gauze to a wound on his side. Blood seeps warm through fabric. Lorelei pushed her way in behind me. Sits opposite, looking like Renaissance grief. Dark hair, perfect. Tears tracking exact paths down exact cheekbones. Garrett's hand shoots out suddenly. Grasping. Finds Lorelei's fingers. Not mine. Squeezes like she's oxygen. The paramedic's watching me. I meet his eyes. Press deliberately harder. Garrett gasps. Writhes. Sorry. I pull back. Blood slippery. The paramedic hands me fresh supplies. His expression, I've seen this before. At Northwestern Memorial, they take Garrett to imaging. Lorelei and I sit in the waiting room, 2 women, 1 man, infinite calculations. I pull out my phone. Open a new note. Start documenting times, locations, the makeup, his hand reaching for hers. All of it data. Cassie, Lorelei starts. Don't. I need you to understand, nothing inappropriate. You're wearing my bathrobe. I look at her. Really, look. In my house. That my husband transferred to you for $1 while telling me we were upgrading for better schools. So forgive me if your definition of inappropriate doesn't interest me. Her eyes fill. On command. Like she's done this 1,000 times. My ex was abusive. I had no one. There are shelters. Lawyers. Entire legal systems designed for domestic violence victims. I lean forward slightly. But you didn't call them. You called a married man. Interesting choice. A doctor emerges before she can respond. Garrett Fletcher's family? We both stand. Wife. I show my driver's license and our marriage certificate, the one I'd tucked in my wallet this morning, knowing I'd need it. Cassie Shen. The doctor nods. Hands me forms. Broken radius, 3 cracked ribs, moderate concussion. He'll be admitted for observation. 48 to 72 hours. Lorelei reaches for the clipboard. May I pull it away. Immediate family only. Hospital policy. Her face crumples beautifully. I sign everything with my maiden name. Then turn to her. You should go home. To my house. Get some rest. She leaves, but we both know she'll be back. Women like Lorelei don't quit. They recalibrate. Next morning, I arrive early. 7:15 a.m., before regular visiting hours. The nurse recognizes me from yesterday, waves me through. Lorelei's already there, perched on Garrett's hospital bed like she owns it. Blue dress, modest cut, careful makeup. The uniform of innocence. They don't see me in the doorway. This is my fault, Lorelei's saying. Voice breaking exactly right. Your marriage, everything, it's falling apart because of me. No. Garrett's good hand finds hers. Squeezes. Cassie will understand. Once I explain properly, maybe I should leave Chicago. Go back to New York? Disappear so you can know. He tries to sit up. Winces. You can't go back to him. Dominic will hurt you again. I couldn't. I won't let that happen. I pull out my phone. Start recording. Illinois is one-party consent. I checked. I care about you too much, Garrett continues. Always have. Since we were kids. You know that. Lorelei's crying now. Real tears or performance, impossible to tell. But you're married. We'll figure it out, Garrett says. Cassie's reasonable. Once she sees how much danger you're in, well, I step into the room. Lower the phone. This is illuminating. They jump apart. Lorelei scrambles off the bed. How long? Garrett starts. Enough. I hold up my phone. One-party consent state. This is perfectly admissible. His face cycles through shock, guilt, then remarkably indignation. You can't just, actually, I can. And I did. I lower the phone. Here's what happens next. I'm filing for divorce. 30-day statutory waiting period in Illinois. After that, we're done. You can't be serious. I pull out an envelope. Drop it on his bedside table. Petition's already drafted. I just need your signature. What if I don't sign? The question hangs. I consider him. This man I'd loved. Built a life with. Sacrificed my hedge fund career for. Then I file anyway, I say. Contested divorce. Which means discovery. Depositions. Interrogatories. I subpoena your company's financial records. The villa transfer. All your communications with Lorelei. I pause. How much have you given her, Garrett? He goes very still. Financially, I mean. Cash transfers. Wire payments. Gifts. How much? That's none of. It's absolutely my business. Marital assets. Community property. Any transfers you made during our marriage, I'm entitled to contest. I tilt my head. So let's make this simple. Sign the papers. Agree to my asset division. Or we do this the hard way, and I bring forensic accountants into every corner of your life. His jaw works. You're blackmailing me. I'm protecting my interests. There's a difference. I turn to leave. Stop. Oh. That infrastructure project? The $20 million one with my cousin's firm? He nods slowly. Check the latest amendment. I'm listed as the legal representative now. Not you. My signature on all draw requests. I smile. Funny how paperwork works. I leave before he can respond. In the hallway, I lean against the wall. Let myself shake for exactly 10 seconds. Then I pull out my phone and call my uncle. It's done, I say. He knows about the project. Now we move to phase 2. Uncle Richard's office overlooks the Chicago River. 53rd floor. Corner windows. The kind of real estate that telegraphs power. Jade called me, he says without preamble. Doesn't look up from his computer. About the villa. About Lorelei Winters. I sink into the client chair. Leather, that costs more than my first car. I need information, I say. Already done. He closes his laptop. Slides a folder across the desk. My investigator's been tracking her since Jade called yesterday. I open it carefully. First page financial summary. Numbers that make my vision blur. 300 million? I whisper. Gambling debts. Accumulated over 6 years. Macau. Las Vegas. Underground poker in Monaco. Uncle Richard leans back. She's got a problem, Cassie. Clinical. Compulsive. I flip through pages. Casino surveillance stills. Bank statements showing massive wire transfers. Legal documents, liens, judgments, demand letters. Her ex-husband discovered it early. Is less than #0. 6# is greater than 6 months into their marriage. Uncle Richard pulls up another file on his tablet. Dominic Sterling. Sterling Industries. You know them? Tech. Midwest market leader. Exactly. He tried intervention. Rehab. Therapy. She couldn't stop. So he filed for divorce and locked down his assets. Uncle Richard swipes through documents. She's been calling him abusive ever since. Textbook Darvo deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. And now she's working on Garrett. Not just Garrett. He shows me another page. Names. Addresses. Financial profiles. We've identified at least 5 other men. All wealthy. All married or recently divorced. All convinced they're her white knight. My hands tighten on the folder. How much has Garrett given her? Uncle Richard consults another document. Based on your company's accounts? Approximately $8 million over the past 3 months. Cash transfers. Wire payments. One large check disguised as a consulting fee. $8 million. Our retirement accounts. The company's operating reserves. All of it feeding slot machines and poker tables. Here's what you need to understand, Uncle Richard says. You're a silent partner in Fletcher Consulting. Your name's on the original LLC articles, which means you have legal standing to make decisions about the company's direction. Understanding filters through slowly. I could take it. Not quite that simple, but close. He pulls out another folder, this one thicker. Illinois Business Law. Section 805 ILCS 180155. Member voting rights. You and Garrett each hold 50 interest. But he taps a clause. If one member creates material adverse circumstances for the company, the other member can petition for emergency governance changes. Material adverse circumstances? Draining $8 million from operating accounts qualifies. Uncle Richard flips to another tab. Here's the strategy. We document his financial misconduct. File a forbearance notice with your lender, First Chicago Bank, correct? I nod. We tell them there's been management impropriety. Request a 90-day forbearance period. During that time, you negotiate a bridge loan but with terms. Material adverse change clause. New governance structure. Board appointment. Garrett won't agree. He will if the alternative is immediate foreclosure. Uncle Richard's smile is cold. And here's the beautiful part. Once you have board control, you can force a capital call. He either invests more, which he can't because he's broke, or you dilute his ownership to minority status. I stare at the documents. This isn't revenge. It's strategy. Legal. Defensible. Brutal. What about Lorelei? I ask. That's trickier. The villa transfer, we can contest it. Fraudulent conveyance. Illinois law presumes fraud if the transfer was to an insider for inadequate consideration, while the transferor was insolvent. We file a lis pendens notice of pending litigation. It clouds the title. She can't sell or refinance until the case resolves. How long does that take? 6 months. Maybe a year. But here's the thing, Lorelei's creditors are circling. Once they discover the properties in her name, they'll file liens too. The whole thing becomes a legal nightmare for her. I lean back. Process. You mentioned other men. The ones she's working. I suggest you talk to Dominic Sterling. Uncle Richard pulls up a contact. He's been trying to warn her other victims for months. With your cooperation, your inside access, you might actually succeed. You want me to partner with her ex-husband? Enemy of my enemy. He forwards me the contact information. But Cassie? Be careful. Sterling's smart. Successful. Driven. He's been burned by Lorelei too. Don't confuse shared goals with shared interests. I stand. Gather the folders. Set up a meeting. This week. Uncle Richard nods approval. One more thing. Delete that Instagram post if you haven't already. Already done. And Cassie? Stop being the wife. Start being the CEO. I leave his office feeling lighter. Clearer. This isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming what's mine. The restaurant is Alinea. 3 Michelin stars. The kind of place where conversations stay private because everyone here has secrets worth keeping. I dress carefully Armani navy, my grandmother's pearls, heels that add authority without desperation. Dominic Sterling is already seated. Tall. Maybe 6'3". Salt and pepper hair. Sharp blue eyes that assess me in 2 seconds flat. Mrs. Fletcher. He half rises. Old school manners. Shen. I kept my name. I sit without waiting. Cassie. Something flickers in his expression. Dominic. He dismisses the sommelier with a glance. We're alone. Your uncle speaks highly of you. Richard exaggerates. I doubt that. Dominic leans back slightly. $8 million. That's what she's taken from your husband so far. Straight to business. Good. 8.2. I correct. As of yesterday's bank statements. More than she got from me. His voice is carefully neutral. Her techniques improving. Or her desperation's increasing. I pull out my phone. Show him a photo of the casino surveillance Uncle Richard provided. Macau. 3 weeks ago. She lost $400,000 in one night. Dominic studies the photo. The debt compounds. She can't stop. Clinical pathological gambling. I had her evaluated during our marriage. She refused treatment. So you divorced her. So I protected my assets and filed for divorce. There's a difference. He looks at me directly. She's been calling me abusive ever since. Restraining orders. False police reports. Her lawyers filed 3 separate motions for emergency support based on claims I'm withholding resources and threatening her safety. Are you? He doesn't flinch. No. But that's the beauty of her system. She makes accusations, I deny them, she says I'm gaslighting her. The burden of proof becomes impossible. I study him. Looking for tells. Micro-expressions. Anything that suggests Lorelei's story might be true. All I see is exhaustion. And calculation. So what do you want? I ask. Exposure. Public. Documented. Irrefutable. He pulls out his phone. Shows me a list. These are 5 other men she's currently working. Same pattern. Emergency situation. Abusive ex. Need for rescue. I've tried warning them. They don't believe me. But they might believe me. You're the wronged wife. Not the abusive ex-husband. Dominic scrolls through the list. If you reached out, shared documentation, bank records, casino footage, pattern analysis. They might listen. They might. The sommelier returns. Dominic orders without consulting me. Shtaunyov Dupop, 2015. Presumptuous. But also correct. Once we're alone again, your husband's company. The infrastructure project. Your uncle mentioned you're the new legal representative. As of 2 days ago, what's your end game? I consider the question. Control. Legal. Permanent. Dominic nods slowly. I can help with that. Sterling Industries does commercial bridge lending. We could structure a loan favorable terms for you, impossible terms for him. Force a recapitalization. In exchange for your cooperation exposing Lorelei. Access to your husband's financial records. Testimony if needed. The wine arrives. Dominic tastes, approves. The sommelier pours and vanishes. Partners? I ask. He extends his hand across the table. Partners. His grip is firm. No hesitation. One rule, he says. We do this legally. Properly. I've been sued 4 times by Lorelei's lawyers. I won't give her ammunition. Agreed. Another thing. He releases my hand. When this is over, when she's exposed and your husband's lost everything, walk away clean. Don't gloat. Don't engage. Just disappear into your success. I sip the wine, is less than #0. 6 is greater than, it's excellent. You sound experienced. I am. His smile is cold. Revenge feels good until it becomes your whole identity. Then it's just a different prison. I think about that. About what I want? Who I want to be? I'll walk away, I say. But first, I'm taking what's mine. The meeting with First Chicago Bank happens in a conference room that smells like expensive furniture, polish, and old money. Present me, Uncle Richard, Garrett, his lawyer, a nervous kid from Loyola, and Jennifer Park, senior loan officer, 40-something, with eyes like a forensic accountant. Thank you all for coming, Jennifer begins. Opens a folder. We've received misquote. Shen's forbearance request concerning Fletcher Consulting's credit facility. Garrett's staring at me. I don't look back. The request cites material adverse circumstances. Specifically, Jennifer consults her notes. Unauthorized asset transfers totaling $8.2 million over a 3-month period, made by Mr. Fletcher without Miss Shen's knowledge or consent. Those were legitimate business expenses, Garrett's lawyer interjects. Jennifer looks at him over her reading glasses. $4 million transferred to offshore accounts in Macau is a legitimate business expense? Silence. I have wire transfer documentation, I say quietly. Bank statements. Beneficiary information. If needed, I can also provide testimony about where those funds actually went. Garrett's face goes gray. Jennifer continues. First, Chicago has serious concerns about management oversight at Fletcher Consulting. Miss Shen has proposed a 90-day forbearance period during which she would assume operational control to stabilize the company. After 90 days, we would revisit the credit facility terms. You can't just, Garrett starts. Actually, we can, Jennifer interrupts. Your credit agreement, Section 7.3, includes a material adverse change clause. Diversion of company assets for personal use qualifies. First, Chicago has the right to call the loan immediately. She lets that sink in. Unless, Jennifer continues, all parties agree to the forbearance terms, which include Miss Shen assumes CEO role. Mr. Fletcher retains CTO title but loses financial signatory authority. All expenditures over $10,000 require dual approval. Uncle Richard slides a document across the table. Standard forbearance agreement. We just need Mr. Fletcher's signature. Garrett's lawyer leans in. They whisper. I watch Garrett's face cycle through emotions: anger, humiliation, desperation. Finally, what happens after 90 days? We renegotiate, I say. New credit facility. New terms. Probably a bridge loan to pay down the current debt. From Sterling Industries. I let that land. They've expressed interest in providing capital. Garrett's face goes white. Dominic Sterling? Lorelei's ex-husband? Her ex-husband, who's a legitimate commercial lender. Yes. You're working with him? Against me? I'm saving your company from foreclosure, I correct. What you did with $8 million, that's what put us here. His lawyer whispers more urgently. Garrett shakes his head. Whispers back. They argue quietly. Jennifer checks her watch. Gentlemen, I have another meeting in 15 minutes. He'll sign, Uncle Richard says confidently. Garrett's lawyer looks defeated. Nods. Garrett picks up the pen. His hand shakes. You don't have to do this, his lawyer says quietly. Yes, Garrett says. I do. He signs. Initials every page. Jennifer witnesses. It's done. I'll file this with the court today, Jennifer says, standing. Miss Shen, you'll need to submit weekly cash flow reports. Understood. Everyone leaves except Garrett and me. He sits there, staring at the signed forbearance agreement. This is about her, isn't it? He says finally. Lorelei, you're doing this to punish me. No. I gather my files. I'm doing this to survive what you did. I love her. The words just sit there. Flat. Desperate. I know, I say. That's the problem. Dominic's investigator is a woman named Sarah Chen. Mid-40s. Former FBI white-collar crimes unit. Now private sector. We meet in her office, a converted loft in West Loop. Brick walls covered in whiteboards. Photographs. String connecting faces and dates. 5 confirmed targets, Sarah says. Points to photos. Plus, your husband makes 6. All active within the past 8 months. The men's faces stare at me from the wall. Successful. Professional. Clueless. Robert Martinez. Investment banker. Goldman Sachs. Married, 2 kids. He's given Lorelei $600,000. David Park. Tech entrepreneur. Just sold his startup for $40 million. Single. Lonely. She's taken him for $3.2 million so far. Marcus Thompson. Hedge fund manager. Recently divorced. Net worth estimated at $50 million. She's gotten $2 million from him. James Chen. Real estate developer. Married. She met him at a charity gala 4 months ago. He's given her $1.8 million. And Garrett makes $8.2 million. I do the math. $22 million. In 8 months. Correct. Sarah points to a stack of documents. Wire transfers. Cash deposits. Checks. All made out to Lorelei or to offshore accounts she controls. Where does it go? Sarah pulls up another board. Is less than #0. 6# is greater than casino logos. Dates. Amounts. Macau. Las Vegas. Monte Carlo. She's got lines of credit at 17 different casinos. Total credit limit $40 million. She's maxed out 15 of them. The scale is staggering. Her creditors are getting aggressive, Sarah continues. 2 casinos have filed judgments. 3 more are threatening legal action. She's in deep and she's desperate. So she's accelerating the con. Exactly. More marks. Higher amounts. Riskier moves. Sarah pulls out a file. This is the concerning part. Last week, she contacted a casino host in Macau. Tried to negotiate a $10 million line of credit. They refused. So she threatened to kill herself on their casino floor if they didn't extend her credit. Jesus. They called Macau police. She was taken for psychiatric evaluation. Released after 24 hours. Sarah looks at me. She's escalating. Getting reckless. That makes her dangerous. Dominic, who's been silent until now, speaks. We need to move fast. Before she does something catastrophic. I've already reached out to 3 of the marks, Sarah says. Used encrypted email. Burner accounts. Simple message. I have information about Lorelei Winters that you need to see. Responses? 2 agreed to meet. 1 blocked me. 2 haven't responded yet. The 2 who agreed, can we trust them? They're desperate for answers. That makes them unpredictable, but also motivated. Dominic looks at me. This is your decision. We can back out now. Walk away. Let her implode on her own. I think about Garrett. About our villa. About 3 years of my life she stole. No, I say. We keep going. We arrange it at a private equity firm's conference room. Neutral territory. Professional. A friend of Dominic's who owes him a favor. Present me, Dominic, Sarah Chen, and 2 of Lorelei's other victims, David Park and Marcus Thompson. David's young. Maybe 35. Nervous. Keeps checking his phone. Marcus is older. Mid-50s. Quieter. Controlled rage simmering underneath. Thank you both for coming, I start. I'm Cassie Shen. My husband was involved with Lorelei Winters. Was? David asks. We're divorcing. Marcus nods slowly. You found out. About the money. The lies. All of it. David shifts uncomfortably. Look, I don't know what you think is happening, but Lorelei and we're in love. She's going through a hard time. Her ex-husband was abusive. I'm her ex-husband, Dominic says quietly. David goes still. I was never abusive. I filed for divorce after discovering she'd gambled away $6 million in 4 months. She's been lying about me ever since. That's David starts. Here. Sarah slides a folder across the table. Financial records. Wire transfers from your account to offshore accounts controlled by Lorelei. Total $3.2 million over 6 months. David opens the folder. His face drains of color. She told me it was for legal fees. For her divorce. To protect herself, it went to casinos, Sarah says. Macau. Las Vegas. Monte Carlo. We have casino records. Surveillance footage. Credit applications in her name. She slides another folder to Marcus. $2 million. Same pattern. Same lies. Marcus opens his folder. Doesn't speak. Just reads. His jaw tightens. There are 4 others, I say. 4 other men she's working right now. Same story. Abusive ex. Nowhere to turn. Need for rescue. We've documented $22 million in the past 8 months alone. David's hands shake. She said she loved me. She's compulsive, Dominic says. Not unkind. Just factual. Clinical pathological gambler. She's been in and out of treatment 3 times. It never sticks. The gambling isn't a problem to her. It's the solution to every problem. What do you want from us? Marcus asks. Direct. Cutting through the emotion. Documentation, I say. Testimony if it comes to that. We're building a case. Not criminal, she's too smart for that. But civil. Fraud. Misrepresentation. Emotional distress. You want to sue her, David says. I want to stop her, I correct. Before she destroys anyone else. Marcus closes his folder. Looks at me. What's your angle? What do you get out of this? Fair question. My house back. My husband's company. My self-respect. I meet his eyes. And the satisfaction of watching her face consequences for once. Marcus nods slowly. I'm in. David's still staring at his folder. She's pregnant. The room goes silent. What? Dominic's voice is sharp. She told me 2 weeks ago. Said it's mine. That's why she needed the last payment. For medical care. Prenatal vitamins. She's scared her ex will find out, and she's not pregnant, Sarah interrupts. We've had surveillance on her for 6 weeks. She went to 3 different casinos, a wine tasting, and a spinning class. No doctor's appointments. No prenatal care. Nothing. David's face crumples. Oh, God. It's her closing move, I say quietly. The final manipulation. When she senses you pulling away, she creates an emergency that forces you back in. David puts his head in his hands. Marcus stands. Walks to the window. Looks out over the city. When do we move? He asks. Soon, Dominic says. We're arranging one final meeting. All her marks in one room. Force her to face everyone at once. She'll run, Marcus says. She can't. Not anymore. I pull out another document. We've filed a lis pendens on a property transfer. Frozen accounts at 2 banks. Contacted her casino credit lines. She's trapped. Marcus turns from the window. Smiles coldly. Good. David's still sitting. Head in hands. Finally, I want to see her face. When she realizes, I want to watch her understand she lost. You will, I promise. We schedule it for a Tuesday. 2 p.m. Private conference room at the law offices of Chen Associates, Uncle Richard's preferred litigators. Present me, Dominic, Uncle Richard, Sarah Chen, 3 lawyers, and all 6 of Lorelei's current marks. Garrett arrives last. Looks terrible. Hasn't shaved. Lost weight. He sees Dominic. Freezes. Sit down, I say. Not unkind. Just firm. He sits. Thank you all for coming, Uncle Richard begins. We've asked you here today to discuss Lorelei Winters, her financial activities, her pattern of behavior, and the coordinated legal action we're prepared to file. Where is she? Garrett asks. Coming, Sarah says. Checks her phone. Her car just pulled into the garage. The room tenses. 5 minutes later, the door opens. Lorelei walks in. Looks around. Sees 6 men. Sees me. Sees Dominic. Her face cycles through confusion, understanding, then panic. What is this? She asks. Sit down, Uncle Richard says. I don't have to. Sit. Down. She sits. Slowly. Calculated. Gentlemen, Uncle Richard says, I'd like each of you to state, for the record, how much money you've given Lorelei Winters in the past 8 months. Silence. Then David, 3.2 million. Marcus, 2 million. James Chen, 1.8 million. Robert Martinez, 600,000. Another man, I don't know, 4.1 million. Garrett, last 8.2 million. Uncle Richard writes each amount on the whiteboard. Adds them up. $20.1 million. In 8 months, he turns to Lorelei. Where did it go? She's crying. Perfect tears. You don't understand. I was in danger. My ex-husband. I'm right here, Dominic says coldly. Tell them what I did. She looks at him. Her face a mask of performance. You hurt me. Controlled me? Threatened me. I filed for divorce after you gambled away $6 million in 4 months. Dominic slides a folder across the table. Here's the court file. No restraining orders. No police reports. No documented abuse. Just a straightforward no-fault divorce. You're lying. Here's casino surveillance. Sarah opens her laptop. Turns the screen. Shows footage of Lorelei at poker tables. Timestamps. Dates. 20 different casinos. Over 300 visits in the past year. That's not, here's your credit applications. 15 casinos. 40 million in lines of credit. All maxed out. You're rated unacceptable risk by every major casino in the world. Lorelei's mask starts to crack. Here's the lie, I say quietly. Everyone looks at me. The abuse. The danger. The desperate need for rescue. All of it calculated. Designed to extract maximum money in minimum time. You're not a victim, Lorelei. You're a predator. She turns to Garrett. Last hope. Tell them. You know the truth. You've seen I gave you everything, Garrett says. His voice is hollow. Our house. Our money. Our marriage. And you gambled it all away. I love you, no, Garrett says. You don't. You love the feeling you get when the roulette wheel spins. That's all you've ever loved. Lorelei stands. Tries to leave. Uncle Richard blocks the door. We're not done. I don't have to listen to this, yes, Uncle Richard says. You do. Because we're filing a coordinated civil action. Fraud. Misrepresentation. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. All 6 plaintiffs. All represented by this firm. You can't prove, we can. We have. Bank records. Wire transfers. Casino footage. Communications. Testimony from casino employees. Psychiatric evaluations you've undergone. He pauses. We have everything, Lorelei. She looks around the room, sees 6 men who believed her, who loved her, who now see the truth. We're offering one chance, Uncle Richard says. You repay what you can. Enter treatment. Agree to a structured payment plan for the rest. We'll drop the suit. I don't have any money, then this will follow you forever. Judgments. Liens. Garnishment. Every time you try to work, we'll be there. Every time you try to start over, we'll be there. Lorelei's crying for real now. Not performance. Actual desperation. I can't stop, she whispers. I've tried. I can't. Then get help, Dominic says. Real help. Not just promises. She looks at him. For a moment, I see something real. Vulnerability. Pain. Then the mask slips back on. This is harassment. I'll countersue. I'll file criminal complaints. Please do, Uncle Richard says. We've documented every contact. Every communication. Everything is legal. Proper. Defensible. Lorelei stands. Walks to the door. Uncle Richard lets her pass. She pauses in the doorway. Looks back at Garrett. I did love you, she says. The version of you who didn't ask questions. Then she's gone. The room sits in silence. Finally, Marcus speaks. What now? Now, Uncle Richard says, we file. Tomorrow morning, Cook County Circuit Court. And we wait for her to understand she's out of options. The divorce certificate arrives on a Tuesday. Simple form. County seal. Done. I pick it up alone. No drama. No confrontation. Just paperwork and stamps and the end of something I'd thought was forever. Garrett's at the office when I arrive. His office, though, for how much longer is unclear. It came, I say. Hold up the certificate. He doesn't look up from his computer. Congratulations. The forbearance period ends next week. We need to discuss next steps. Sterling Industries made an offer, he says flatly. Bridge loan. $20 million. Pays off First Chicago. Gives us operating capital. Terms? You know the terms. He finally looks at me. Recapitalization. New share structure. I'm diluted to 20% ownership. You're majority owner. And you're okay with this? Is less than #0. 6# is greater than, he laughs. Bitter. Hollow. What choice do I have? This or bankruptcy? Fair point. There's something else, I say carefully. The civil suit against Lorelei. It names you as a potential witness. I know. Her lawyer sent me a subpoena. You don't have to participate. Yeah, I do. He closes his laptop. Looks at me directly. I was wrong. About everything. The house. The money. Her. I let myself believe a fantasy and it destroyed reality. Garrett, no, let me finish. He stands. I convinced myself I was saving her. Being noble. But really, I was just feeding my own ego. Feeling important. Necessary. And you were the collateral damage. I don't say anything. Don't know what to say. I'll testify, he continues. Everything I know. Everything I can remember. It won't undo what I did. But maybe it'll stop her from doing it to someone else. Thank you. Don't thank me. This isn't nobility. It's just accounting. Paying back what I owe. He picks up his laptop. I'm moving out of the condo this weekend. Signed a month-to-month place in River North. You can have the lease. You don't have to. I do. It's yours. You paid for it anyway. He heads toward the door. Stops. For what it's worth, I am sorry. Is less than #0. 6 is greater than I know. That doesn't mean much now. But I am. I know, I say. He leaves. I sit in his office, my office now, and feel nothing. No satisfaction. No anger. Just exhaustion and relief. My phone buzzes. Dominic, dinner tonight? Have news about the suit. I type back 7 p.m.? Perfect. I'll pick you up. I look around the office. The company Garrett and I built together. That's mine now. Solely mine. This should feel like victory. Instead, it just feels like Tuesday. The deposition room smells like recycled air and nervous sweat. Lorelei sits across the table with her lawyer. She's thinner. Harder. The ethereal beauty looks almost brittle now. I'm here as a witness. Just testimony. But really, I'm here to see her face when she understands she lost. The opposing counsel asks his questions. I answer truthfully. Dates. Amounts. Communications. And you allege Miss Winters knowingly defrauded your ex-husband? I don't allege anything. I'm stating what the bank records show. But you can't know her intent. She took $8.2 million and told him it was for legal fees and living expenses. It went to casinos. Intent seems pretty clear. Lorelei's lawyer objects. We move on. It takes 3 hours. I answer every question. Provide every document. By the end, I'm exhausted. Outside, Dominic's waiting in his car. How'd it go? He asks. Fine. Boring. Legal. I buckle in. Her lawyer kept trying to paint me as vindictive. Spurned wife, seeking revenge. Did it work? No. Because I had receipts. Documents. Evidence. I look at him. How's your side going? Settlement talks. Her lawyer's getting desperate. The casino judgments are piling up. She can't pay. Can't work. Can't access credit. He pulls into traffic. We're close to a deal. What kind of deal? Structured payment plan. She enters treatment. Agrees to lifetime monitoring. In exchange, we dismiss the civil suit with prejudice. Think she'll take it? She doesn't have a choice. We drive in silence for a while. I have something to tell you, Dominic says finally. Okay. I'm relocating. London office. Sterling Industries is expanding into European markets. I'll be gone for at least 2 years. Oh. That's great. I manage. Congratulations. Come with me. I look at him. He's not joking. Come with me, he repeats. You're brilliant. Ruthless when you need to be. Kind when it matters. I'd be an idiot not to ask. Dominic, I'm not proposing. I'm just saying if you want a fresh start, away from all this. London's nice. Sterling has openings in our investment division. You'd be good at it. I think about Chicago. About the company I just reclaimed. About starting over again. Can I think about it? Take all the time you need. He smiles. But the offer stands. No pressure. No expectations. Just possibility. Possibility. That word sits with me for days. I'm standing in my office CEO suite, corner windows, view of the lake when my phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? Cassie? Garrett's voice. Rough. I'm calling from an overseas number. Are you at the office? Yes. Why? Don't sign anything today. Please. My stomach drops. What happened? The FBI came. This morning, they're investigating Lorelei. Money laundering. Possible casino fraud. They want to talk to everyone involved. Including you. Including me. I told them everything. But Cassie, they're looking at the company transfers too. The $8 million. They want to know if I knew where it was going. Did you... Pause. I suspected. But I didn't want to know. That's not the same as knowing. I know. But that's not how the FBI sees it. They're talking about conspiracy. Facilitating illegal gambling. I might be indicted. I sink into my chair. Jesus. I'm leaving the country. Tonight, I have a lawyer who says it's best if I'm not in jurisdiction while they investigate. I wanted to warn you. In case they come for the company too. Garrett, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. For everything. But especially for this. You didn't deserve to get dragged into the line goes dead. I sit there, phone in hand, staring at nothing. The company I'd fought for. Reclaimed. Built back up. Now potentially implicated in federal money laundering. My phone rings again. Uncle Richard. You heard? Just got off the phone with Garrett. FBI's coming tomorrow. 9 a.m. They want all financial records. Bank statements. Communications. Everything. His voice is grave. Cassie, this could be bad. Really bad. I didn't know. I believe you. The FBI might not. Willful blindness is still culpable. I think about Dominic's offer. London. Fresh start. Away from all this. What do I do? Cooperate fully. Get your own lawyer, not me. I'm too close. Criminal defense. White collar. And Cassie? Yeah? Consider your options. If this goes federal indictment, the company's finished anyway. Might be time to walk away before you're buried in the rubble. He hangs up. I sit in my office as the sun sets over Lake Michigan. Watch the city light up. Think about everything I've fought for. And realize maybe winning means knowing when to let go. 3 months later, I'm at O'Hare. Terminal 5. British Airways flight to Heathrow. The FBI investigation is ongoing. I gave them everything. Testified for 6 hours. My lawyer says I'm clear I didn't know, couldn't have known, took reasonable steps once I discovered the truth. Garrett's overseas. Hiding. Effectively. Interpol has a warrant. It's only a matter of time. The company's being liquidated. Federal asset seizure. Uncle Richard managed to protect my personal assets, but the business is gone. Lorelei's in federal custody. Awaiting trial. Her lawyer's negotiating a plea. And me? I'm leaving. Last call for boarding, the gate agent announces. I stand. Grab my carry-on. This is everything I'm taking. 2 suitcases. A laptop. A fresh start. Dominic's waiting at Heathrow. He's found me a flat in Kensington. Set up interviews at Sterling's London office. No promises. No expectations. Just possibility. I hand the agent my boarding pass. Walk down the jetway. Find my seat by the window. As the plane takes off, I watch Chicago disappear below. The lake. The skyline. Everything I was. And I think about everything I'm about to become. Maybe revenge isn't about winning. Maybe it's about surviving. Learning. Becoming someone who won't make the same mistakes. Maybe second chances aren't about fixing the past. They're about not repeating it. Epilogue 2 years later, the London office of Sterling Industries overlooks the Thames. 42nd floor. Corner suite. Mine. I'm reviewing quarterly numbers when my assistant buzzes. Miss Shen? There's a call for you. Garrett Fletcher. I pause. Haven't heard from him in 8 months. Put him through. Click. Then Cassie? Hello, Garrett. I'm calling from the States. I'm back. The federal case was dropped insufficient evidence. My lawyer worked out an immunity deal. Congratulations. I needed to say thank you. For testifying. For telling the truth. It helped. You're welcome. Silence. How are you? He asks finally. Good. Really good, actually. Director of European Acquisitions. Sterling Industries. We just closed a deal worth $300 million. That's amazing. I'm happy for you. Really? How are you? Sober. 6 months now. In therapy. Working at a nonprofit. Nothing glamorous. But honest. Real. He pauses. I'm trying to figure out who I am when I'm not chasing fantasies. That's good, Garrett, is less than #0. 6# is greater than I mean that. I heard about you and Sterling. Is it serious? I smile. Look at the ring on my finger. Simple band. White gold. We got married last month. Registry office. Very quiet. Oh. He sounds genuinely happy. Congratulations. He's a good guy. Deserves you. I deserve him. I correct. That's the difference. Yeah, you're right. He takes a breath. I should let you go. Just wanted to say thank you. And I'm sorry. And I hope you're happy. I am. Be well, Garrett. You too, Cassie. The line goes dead. I sit there for a moment, then return to my work. The quarterly numbers need approval by end of day. My assistant buzzes again. Your husband on line 2. I smile. Pick up. Hey, you. Hey yourself, Dominic says. Still on for dinner? 7 p.m.? Absolutely. Where are we going? That new place in Mayfair. The one with the Michelin star. Celebrating your deal. Our deal. Sterling Industries deal. Your deal, he corrects. You closed it. Take credit. I lean back in my chair. Look out at the Thames. At the city that's become home. See you at 7, I say. Love you. Love you too. I hang up. Return to work. This is what second chances look like. Not revenge. Not victory over an enemy. Just building something new. Something honest. Something yours. I'd thought marriage was about sacrifice. Compromise. Losing yourself to find couplehood. Now I know better. It's about partnership. 2 whole people choosing each other. Again and again. I chose wrong the first time. Fell in love with potential instead of reality. But I chose right the second time. And that makes all the difference. The end.